Sup Nerdmigos and the Jive Talking Nerd John Norcroft. We've got Wife here. We're here for another review Jive, and this time we watched Devil's Gate. So, this is a 2017... Thank you, clock. We just got an antique clock, so it just makes
dings
noise.
on the half hour.
Yeah. So we, it's a 2017 thriller horror movie starring, I did not know that guy's name was so bananas. Milo Ventimiglia? Ventimiglia. You'll recognize him, trust me.
Shawn
Ashmore and Amanda Schull.
A.K.A. Mary.
And Bridget Regan and Jonathan Frakes, who is obviously, you know, from Star Trek TNG.
Yeah.
And directs a ton of Star Trek stuff. Actually, did he direct this movie? Because he does do a bunch of directing. No, he did not. Okay. This is a weird movie. So we've seen this movie before. Oh, let me read the thing first. Then we'll get into the thing. Yeah, this is a weird fucking movie.
Really threw you off.
When a woman and her son mysteriously vanish, FBI agent Daria Francis is dispatched to the small town of Devil's Gate, North Dakota, to investigate the primary suspect, religious fanatic Jackson Pritchard, husband and father of the missing persons. But when Francis and local deputy Colt arrive at Pritchard's foreboding property, they discover much more than they bargained for lurking in the basement. Which is pretty straightforward. So to not give away too much of the twists and stuff at the end, it's the FBI agent in this is basically like a she's screwed up before sort of a thing. You know, it's like you've screwed up before. You know, like pushing too far to try to solve a missing kid's file.
Like, here's an easy one.
So here's an easy one, and of course she gets there, and Jonathan Frakes plays the fucking weirdest sheriff.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like... And this isn't a spoiler because we don't get an answer at the end. He's either on the take, doesn't care about his job, or legitimately doesn't think something bad happened, and just doesn't believe kooky, you know, big city folk. But whatever the fuck is going on with him... You just, like, at every turn, he's just like, what are you talking about? Everything's normal. That was perfectly fine. Blah, 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 blah. Don't risk yourself. Like, part of me feels like he knows about some shit, but it's just like, don't let it ruin your career. And part of me is just like, he's one of them. But at the same time, he could just be like, just like an asshole who's just like, fuck the FBI. I run this town. Yeah. Exactly as plausible. It's so bananas. His character is all fucking over the place. Also, it's kind of weird that he's in this. I don't know. Every time I see Jonathan Frakes outside of Star Trek, I'm just like, what are you doing here?
He's allowed to act in other things.
I know, but it's just... but outside of Star Trek, he's very weird. I feel like he's been Riker for too long, and so anytime he's not doing Riker, it's just like a little weird.
That's only. I feel like it's only weird.
His acting is weird. Not as weird to me. His acting is weird. Because his acting in this, you don't know, is he a good guy or a bad guy? Who fucking knows? There's no answers in the movie. So clearly his acting was supposed to portray something, and I don't know what the fuck that is. But there's a lot of that in this movie. This movie basically consists of like two like coalescing plots, right? Which is like weird angel shit and demon shit and like weird alien shit. Yeah. And we're not really given a yes/no definition.
Yeah, and we're not going to do any spoilers.
And we're not going to give you any spoilers, but there's not a lot of answers posed in this.
This, like other like spoopy alien type movies, think like Dark Skies or even The Fourth Kind, which technically is based on true stories, kind of, sort of. You know, like much like those, it kind of has like a level of like, well, is it like something supernatural or is it something alien? So you're kind of like hanging in the balance there in between something supernatural. You know, in this case, the supernatural thing is like angels and demons and stuff.
Yeah, because the guy is like a religious fanatic, and it's not like a very religious town. But the father in this, who you'll recognize who plays him, he is amazing in this.
Yeah, he does a very good job.
Acts like a man who's just broken. Who just he is put in a position that he does not understand, dealing with forces he cannot comprehend, and he is just trying to get his wife and his kid back together. he doesn't communicate super great with the cops, which results in a lot of shit going down not smoothly. But whatever, the guy's batshit insane.
Shawn Ashmore and Mary as the local cop is kind of weird because it's clear that he doesn't really want to bring charges against this guy. If in fact he was the reason his wife was there.
Friends.
Yeah, they're like childhood friends. Yeah. But Shawn Ashmore plays a character who would feel very conflicted about the position that he's been put in this movie. Yeah. And as much as I love him as an actor, and of course Lord of the Rings, I feel like he doesn't do a great job at showing the audience that he's really conflicted. Yeah. He mostly looks a little confused, maybe constipated.
Yeah. Well, he very rapidly transitions from everybody calm down. Listen, man, remember when we were kids and we were friends and blah, 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 to just knocking this dude the fuck out or immediately drawing a gun on him to the next scene. He's like, hey, let's not get violent here. Remember when we were friends? So he's just, he's very all over the place. And I feel like as a generalization in this movie, all of the characters are very all over the place characters. Yeah. I think that this is, again, as I've said a million times, I think this is one of those stories that could have benefited from a second take, another edition, a rewrite, something. I think that the core is good, and I think that the characters are good, but they just don't interplay very well. Mm-hmm. If you've seen this movie, I want you to tell me below, do you think that the FBI agent went through any character development? Because the end of the movie, I fucking don't think she did.
I mean, I feel like she mostly spent the whole movie seeing things happen around her.
Yeah, she really...
there wasn't a lot of development there, other than the development of the actual goings-ons of
which she observes, but again, it never seems to... at many times, she's given the opportunity where a character change would have benefited the plot, but she doesn't take it. And then at the very end, she's basically given another opportunity like that, and she just doesn't take it. It's one of these movies where there's just a lot of characters are real surface. It's they're friends, but he's a cop. She's an FBI agent and she goes too far for kids. Yeah. It's just, it's weird, and even the mother goes through functionally. She goes through character development.
Yeah, the mother isn't there for most of the movie.
But she goes through character development.
She has more character development. A bunch of people go through character development,
but the FBI agent just doesn't. I feel like she really represents almost the audience, but more likely the camera in this situation. Even this isn't a first-person movie or anything like that, but it's just, she really is just observing this shit and not changing anything about herself.
Yeah. Now, I did like the treatment of the aliens.
Or angels or whatever the fuck because we don't
beings.
Yeah. We don't really get a definitive answer, but we have some.
Yeah. So the treatment that they had of these beings, both in the visual of how they looked and how they manifested and the things that they did and their motivations, I thought was all actually really cool.
It was good. It was
really cool.
All of it is left a mystery.
Again, this is no spoiler.
All of this is left a mystery. You get no answers on any of this. There is a post-credit scene, so if you're watching this on Netflix, don't just my Netflix went little tiny. We watched this on Netflix. We watched another one on Shudder. It goes tiny screen. Fucking take that back to full screen because 5 minutes into the credits, I think, or something like that, is where you get a post-credit scene. So there is. We literally we're gonna exit, and then post-credit scene popped in
after the picture card credits before it goes to the
standard
to the
credits.
Crawl, there's a little scene there. So
keep an eye out for that.
You do want to see it because it does help give a little bit of addition to the movie. But another thing that was cool about the aliens is. Or the beings, I guess, because we're not really sure if they're aliens or not, is that they do some sort of crop circle-esque / demonology symbolism happening here. There's this symbol that sort of calls them, but also they sort of leave behind when they visit a place. It's unclear exactly when that shows up, but it's really cool in the way that it shows up. It reminded me a lot of anime. It's the way that you have glowing metaphysical symbols and stuff. Yeah. But that was another really cool part. I really, really enjoyed that.
I mean, look, the creatures look good and the setup looks good, and I mean, Pritchett's farm is full of booby traps and shit, and those are all really badass looking, and there's some good deaths in this. And like this is overall, this is a good movie. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. Yeah. I think that you should watch it. But really, our like titular main character in this is just a really weak character who can't support such a good movie. And this was made in 2017. It very clearly ends openly for a sequel, which obviously has not happened, and I don't think ever will.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, but yeah, you never fucking know at this point in time. But you know, the movie just. It needed a little bit more. It needed that little bit more to be a 5, and I don't think that it was attained. Is this enjoyable? Are you going to like it? Yes. There's not really a lot of jump scares. This is really more like a supernatural thriller than anything else.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought this was a good movie.
Yeah, I would give it 4 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5, yeah. So there you go. But either way, like this video, comment below, share, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff, ring the bell, whatever the fuck. Tell us what your favorite part of the movie is, what you thought about the character development and stuff like that, or if you've seen this or not. I've been John Norcrow. This has been Wife. This is Review Jive. We watched Devil's Gate, which is available on Netflix. And we'll catch you guys next time. Get ready for only horror movies. Halloween's coming.
Yeah, October is almost here.
Yep.